Canada, and welcome to my home. I'm Marcy, and I'm going to share with you today my recipe for a creamy orzo pasta with vegetables and of course Philadelphia cream cheese. This recipe is not only fast and quick to make, but it's also really nutritious and my family love it. I'm also going to share with you some tips on how to freeze it ahead of time, and then all you have to do is throw it in your skillet for a nice quick weekday meal. So I've already pre-cooked my orzo pasta. I boiled it for about 6 to 8 minutes, and it was 1 cup of dried orzo pasta, which comes up to about 2 cups of orzo pasta. So let's start off by adding our olive oil. It's about a tablespoon of olive oil. Just into a skillet. I have it in about a medium-high heat. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of chopped onions, and they're very finely chopped. Next, we'll add our veggies. I have about half of a red pepper, same amount of orange pepper, about a cup of spinach, and this is about half of a can, or about 1 1/4, 1 1/2 cups of white beans. My 2 cups of orzo pasta. So just give that a stir up here. Let that cook for a few minutes. I have a little sauce that I'm going to add to this as well. And we'll just mix that up once I get this all going here. I'll put the lid on. I just love all the colors in this. You can just tell how good it is to eat when you have that many colors in your dish. So just put the lid on and just let that steam itself. Now I'm just grabbing an extra bowl here because I'm going to mix up a dressing. I have a tablespoon of lemon juice, tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, some Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon of that as well, tablespoon of fresh chopped basil, and garlic, of course. Everything needs to have garlic. I just mix it up a little bit there. Lid off. And just stir it up here. Usually I can tell when it's cooked. You can see just the vegetables start to glisten there a little bit. You just basically want to steam them in there. The spinach I used was frozen spinach, so it just takes a few minutes to thaw out and cook. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my Philadelphia cream cheese. I've already cut it into blocks here just to help it to melt a little bit. And this is what it's going to give us our little creamy bits in here. And you can even just turn that down a little bit there. Let it cover and just let it simmer for a few minutes. And your dish is going to be ready. I sometimes just stir it a couple times as I'm going here, and you'll see the cream cheese start to melt. I used about half of a block of cream cheese. be all done, and you can... Okay, so it's been about 3-4 minutes, and my pasta dish is already done. You can see it here. I just had it on about low-medium heat with the lid on, and I stirred it once during that time, and it all melted up there. And now it's just time to put it in a bowl. Usually what I do is I just serve it in one serving bowl, just a family style for all of us to eat. You can also, because it will form quite nicely, is put it in a ramekin and then serve it on each individual plate. And just pack it in the ramekin, flip it over, and then it'll be nice. I'll show you that there too. There we go. And all ready for our dinner in about 10 minutes. Here it is, ready for the table. So I have a 2-inch ramekin here. This is how I would serve it if I was having somebody over and it was more of a presentation that I wanted for my dinner. I just have it lightly oiled there. I'm going to smoosh my orzo pasta into here. So just smoosh it in like that. And there we go. And I just have a few basil leaves here. Put it on chives would work very nicely like that too. And that's how I would serve it on a plate with something else, your piece. So when I was preparing everything earlier, I doubled everything. So I cut up a whole pepper, red pepper, and a whole orange pepper, half an onion. I doubled the amount of orzo that I did, and I used the other half a can of the white beans. So I mixed it all together here, and I'm going to show you what to do so that you can have it all prepared and all ready for next time, and it'll be in the freezer. You just take it out, put it in the skillet, 5 minutes later you have your side dish. So I have it all in the bowl here. I have my marinade here, the same one as before. Just mix it all up. Mix it all there. Now what I like to do is just put it on a cookie sheet. And I freeze it this way. The reason I do this is just so it doesn't all stick together in one big lump. You don't have to do this step. You can just put it straight into your Ziploc bag or whatever else you're using. You don't have to do this step. You can just put it into your zipper bag, freezer bag, or your plastic container or whatever type of container you're going to store it in. And that works good. So I just spread it out. The reason I do this is it won't all clump and stick together. Then I'm just going to sprinkle the cream cheese around too. Like this. Stick it in the freezer overnight or even 6 hours or so. By the time you go to bed, you should be able to put it in a bag or a container and have it in the freezer. Then you can just label it. My husband can even take this out of the freezer, quickly whip together a dinner very quickly. My husband's behind the counter making fun of me for saying that he doesn't cook, but he cooks simple things. He cooks quite a bit, but if I prepare this ahead of time, it is much easier and we get a more nutritious meal.